Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Radio FC. It's the Radio here, and you can see on the screen 3-1 Manchester United. I don't sound excited, but I am actually very excited. Great result for the team. Honestly, got really lucky in the beginning of this game to not be 3-0 down. Even like the stat wise, big chances. West Ham had 5, Manchester United had 3, and obviously capitalized on all 3 of those, I guess. No, actually, no. I don't think the Pogba goal would definitely not fall under that category. But regardless, I think the other one would have been Marcus's post shot. But let's see how they set up for the Red Devils in the beginning of the game. As you can see on the screen, we had a formation that I predicted, a 4-2-3-1. Just the lineup was completely different. I had Axel that I wanted to start, but instead Lindelof did. The other one was Pogba for Van der Beek did. I have in my starting lineup, but I had him in the Pogba position. And Pogba started, and then Donny Van der Beek started over Bruno Fernandes. Did get the, I guess, 3 up here, right? Which is fine. But that's how we set up. Oh, and the big one, another big one actually that I totally missed right now was David De Gea. Sitting this one out, getting some rest, I guess, for Dean Henderson, which was all right. We didn't miss much there in that department for sure. Transition to, I guess, the red zone, as we're going to get into the zone of the game. This is what the first half is kind of what the first half would describe. Defensively, we'd be looking back like this, as you can see, Pogba, and being very defensive. They did score their goal off of a set piece, but they did have plenty of chances in the first half. Souček getting the first goal for West Ham and opening up the scoreboard machine. Set piece goal, like I said earlier, was looking really shaky. Their press in the first half was actually pretty impressive. From all the things you hear about West Ham doing so good this year so far, it really did show in that first half. But as we change from the first half to the second half, these two guys definitely changed the game for United. Bruno Fernandes, which I noticed him dropping back a little bit more, picking up the ball from a deeper position, versus Donny's kind of more energetic, going forward kind of play. Definitely switched off and made a huge difference. It's not that I didn't think Donny had a terrible game. It just, he was one of the few guys that actually, when he got the ball in return, he actually held on to it for a lot longer than most of the players, it seemed like, because as soon as someone got the ball, they gave the ball away in a pass or just gave the ball away from a tackle. He was kind of the, and I don't want to say the consistent guy that was picking up the ball good, but more or less the guy that wasn't giving up the ball so easily in the first half. This partnership led to the first goal, which was a beautiful goal from Paul Pogba, which opened up the scoreboard machine for Manchester United. Definitely was not expecting him to show up in this game or even play, just because of his injury issues at the last couple weeks. But definitely, I jumped up when I saw, or when it happened. I was super excited, and I was like, okay, the changes are gonna literally change the game. Then we move on to the second goal, I believe. I have to double check this right now. I'll double check it right now as we are going through this. I'm 90% sure like Mason Greenwood he did score the second goal. I'm just trying to remember, because him and Rashford's goal were very similar, where they're just had a beautiful, just killer pass over the top, and then them just finishing clean. His was assisted by Juan Mata, who came on for Martial, which we'll get into the changes, I guess, a little bit later, right after we're done with the quick review, I guess. Mason Greenwood getting the goal. Beautiful finish. Let's go to what the team eventually turned into from the first half to the second half changes, which was the second half changes, and then the team basically shifted into this, where they pushed up Anthony Martial up top. We had Marcus Rashford here on the left, and it's moving everybody because I forgot to unlock him. Yes, over here on the left. Then Mason Greenwood same spot, and Bruno Fernandes came in, who was probably the difference maker, as I again forget to unlock him. Probably one of the biggest difference makers. He had a I'm not sure, I'm 90% sure it was him who came in off of attack, and then that's where Paul Pogba scored his goal, because it was off a counter attack, and I believe it was Bruno who came back. It was at the top of the box, and then Paul Pogba came in and then swung a, some will say screamer, but just curled it perfectly to the back of the net, the right back side of the net. Now, the second goal we have here on the screen, where it got set up, people were a lot deeper. Rashford was not too far up, but it was a Mason Greenwood goal where he came in here. It was a one-time pass. It was either from Rashford or Bruno who was up here, and he knocked it back, and then Mata basically first timed it to Greenwood, and he basically had a clean finish. I really enjoyed this part of the game where Mata came in, and then the last goal was just a Bruno to Marcus goal, or it's probably going to be like a vintage goal for them, honestly, them two together. Then this is what the team finished with. Definitely, and I'm definitely interested in seeing Greenwood more in this number 9 position, honestly, because his finishing is just so ridiculous. He did have another one opportunity where he basically like left-footed it and like toe-footed it, but it went off target. And then Marcus definitely probably should have had 2 goals in this game. But that's also saying like West Ham probably should have had 3 goals at half for sure. Because like I said, the first half was just envision like a four man just standing at the top of the box, as I'm gonna try to looking like this a lot in the first half if we had possession, and it was basically Pogba. Where's he at? He's right here, like sitting here trying to feed a weird pass in, while they had basically defenders marked all over. So that was the first half that we were struggling with. We were trying to get Pogba to like feed some crazy pass in for some reason. I don't know why, as Paul Pogba just fell on the bottom of the screen. And then, or Harry Maguire or Lindelof trying to just dink a pass over, and it just wasn't working. I know we were trying to beat the press, and that's why I said the press in the first half from West Ham was amazing, but it definitely wasn't good enough because somehow they basically turned it off in the second half. It seemed like I think West Ham fans would agree that they played a great football in the first half. We did play very sloppy, but we held on. I guess I think we were definitely the better side in the end, but that first half, as I'm messing with this, was not fun to watch. But we at the end figured it out. Obviously, the Marcus and Bruno switch off for Cavani, and Donny van der Beek was probably the difference maker. And you're probably gonna hear someone say masterclass from Ollie. I thought it was a good change. It's good to see that versus what happened in midweek. As you see, we got the next 3 games: RB Leipzig, Manchester City, and then starting of the midweek Premier League games with Sheffield United. Good result. We got the 3 points. Like I said, we needed it in our bank account. We are now standing in 4th, and I don't think we have covered that game in hand yet. So we will probably be dropping after a couple more games got played, depending on the results. But good to see Pogba get a goal, Rashford, Greenwood, and hopefully Marcus and Martial's injuries aren't too serious, because I know Marcus had a weird fall probably right before he scored his first goal, or the first goal was scored, and he did have a little bit of a knock, so hopefully he's gonna be fine. I know Tellez again was grabbing his junk basically, but his groin, and Pogba did land a little weird in the first half, and then played the rest of the game. Seemed like it didn't really bother him after you ran it off for a little bit. So hopefully we don't have any injuries out of this game as well. I've been the video. This has been my review of the Manchester United versus West Ham game. Tell me what you guys think. West Ham fans, if you're watching, express your feelings. Same to Manchester United fans. Great to see the result, like I said earlier, and we'll see you guys later. Cheers.